It's Anathea, your divine feminine educator. And today, what I want to talk about is love addiction and how you're actually missing out on love. I think I'm a recovering love addict. I was always, love addiction. What is love addiction? Love addiction is falling in love and just being saturated with excitement of that. It's literally a drug that's in your body, that's moving through your body, but it's not true love. So I'm going to ask you a few questions as far as these certain things and see if that, 10 signs that you are a love addict. Because love addiction and sex addiction are big on our planet. But is it really love? No, it's not. You see, love, any type of addiction, any type of obsessive compulsive behavior is a search for spirituality, but you're going in the wrong direction. So it's your soul being driven to finding love, to finding connection, but its compass is in the wrong, is directed in the wrong way. It's actually directed outward. How you heal any type of addiction, any type of obsessive compulsive behavior is by going inward. But let's look at these 10 signs of love addiction and see if you are actually a love addict yourself. Maybe you don't even know it. But you know what's interesting is our society supports, our culture has supported us to be love and sex addicts. It's easier to be a love or sex addict than it is to be healthy in our world, in our society. So let's look at these 10 signs of love addiction. Mistaking intense sexual experience. Let me start from the beginning. Mistaking intense sexual experiences and new romantic excitement for love. Thinking that you're in love. Well, you're in love, but you're in love with falling in love, and you're in love with that intensity. It's literally a drug. It's getting you high. It's not true, healthy, grounded, solid love. Number 2, you need emotional intensity to feel alive. Boy, oh boy, I was a victim of that. I was a drama queen. So if things got too boring, nothing's going wrong, there's nothing to argue about, things are pretty harmonious, just create a little bit of drama, create a little bit of intensity, and then there's excitement. So being addicted to that emotional intensity, stirring up the pot so that you can feel alive. You need to find healthy ways to feel alive, not create and sabotage your life or sabotage your relationships or create drama in order to have excitement. There's other ways and healthier ways to have excitement in your life. Number 3, we're talking about love addiction and signs that you might be a love addict. I think women are very susceptible to being love addicts. So let's just say general, and I don't like to generalize, that, women are love addicts and men generally are sex addicts. Now, this is just general. This is just a general trend, how we've been socialized, how we've been culturized. There's pornography all over the internet. I don't see it, but oh boy, is it there, right? A little kid by the age of 11 has already been exposed to pornography. This is our society. This is all normal stuff. In order for you to be free and at home in your body and at home in your heart and feel connected to others in a more authentic way, you need to take the steps to free yourself. Because our general society, our general way of being supports disconnect, supports addiction, supports obsessive compulsive behaviors, supports fear, as we've seen. We see it very clearly out in our world right now. What's being created is fear, 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 false evidence appearing real. If you want love, you're going to have to liberate yourself from fear. So let's get back to love addiction. Number 3, 10 signs of love addiction. Number 3, when not in a relationship, feeling desperate and alone. This is one that breaks my heart because The only way to healthy relating is by first creating a healthy relationship with you. First, finding that love within, being comfortable in your own skin, being comfortable with your own companionship. Yes, you don't have to live the rest of your life alone, but when you're freaking out and you don't feel comfortable just having an evening to yourself, or even I've felt that rite of passage when a weekend was coming and there were no plans with anybody. I was just going to be there by myself. And it was an uncomfortable feeling. But having those a few times and actually creating your own cultivation of, I had a beautiful weekend with myself. That's a rite of passage, and freeing yourself from fear, freeing yourself from addiction, and moving towards love. Number 4, you lose yourself in another person. You lose yourself in relationship. Well, I've done that multiple times. And let me tell you, when you lose yourself in relationship, that is probably one of the most painful experiences. I mean, there's many painful experiences in relationship, but losing yourself in relationship is extremely painful, because guess what? You are beautiful. You are powerful. You are amazing. And when you begin to lose yourself in relationship, you become just available to them, and you are no longer available to yourself, and you're not focusing on what's right for you, what empowers you, what makes you bright and shiny as an individual. That doesn't feel good. And you know when you're starting to lose yourself. And when you lose yourself in relationship, again, it's a rite of passage for you to do what it takes to crawl out of that situation and bring yourself back to the light, bring yourself back to your brightness. This is powerful. And there is one person after another that gets dragged down through the label of love, the label of of love. Really, I could say connection and a relationship, but really it's, you think you're going towards love and you're going towards just the opposite. It's tricky. This stuff is tricky. Okay, number 5, you neglect friends and family. So you have a friend that's a love addict, and maybe you don't even know they're a love addict, but they fall in love again with someone. Oh, I won't be seeing them for another 3 to 6 months. Or maybe that's you, right? Don't neglect your family and friends ever. Always make them important, because they're the mainstay of your life. And maybe your love life too. Maybe you're on the 30-year program where you're the person that you're in love with, and your partner is with you for the rest of your life. You see, we don't know. We are out of control of who's going to be with us or not for the rest of our lives. People come, people go, people die. But guess what? The only person that's going to be there on your deathbed, guaranteed, for sure, is you. You might as well get to know yourself and have a love relationship with yourself. Okay. And your friends and family, if you have really good people in your life, you want to nurture those relationships. Number 6, you over accommodate and change yourself. That's similar to losing yourself in a relationship. That's about being a people pleaser. Free yourself from that. Number 7, you doubt yourself. This one is called gaslighting. You start doubting your feelings. You start getting insecure. And I was listening to a YouTube TED Talk last night about a woman who was actually a white male, and now she's a white female. And it was awesome what she was talking about. But basically what she was saying is that as a woman, men doubt you. Whatever you're saying, you have to kind of convince them. And so she said the biggest thing that men can start doing to uplift and support women to make equality between the sexes is stop doubting what your women are saying to you. My alarm's going up. I will be right back. Hold on. I just hate when that happens. These alarms that I have going to remind myself. Okay, I'm sorry, but stop doubting yourself. And men, stop doubting your women. Stop doubting yourself. Those thoughts, that's the scary part. Is it your mind or is it your wisdom? That's a slippery slope to navigate, and you have to become a master of it, especially during these times. Number 8, there's too much drama and sometimes you think you're crazy. That goes along with doubting yourself. These things lead right into another. So you start doubting yourself. Your lover convinces you either directly or indirectly that you're wrong, makes you feel crazy. So you start having, you start becoming like crazy making in your mind. You're wiser than you ever dreamed possible. You're more powerful than you could ever imagine. You just need to get clear about who you are and stay connected to that source that's called you, your higher self. And it's really through the power of your heart energy that's going to keep you aligned. But what we do is and I remember when I was having all the struggles in relationship in my younger years, I got slapped down multiple times. I remember that sexual victim energy in my body. And literally, I had to take the steps to love myself enough to free myself from that frequency. It is a frequency in your body. So it's almost like a victim turn on energy. If you know what I'm talking about, please take a look at my courses. Please take the love quiz. Please look at ways to get back home to that inner wisdom, that inner power that is you. Okay. Number 9, this leads right into the next one. You tolerate bad behavior. You tolerate a partner that is supposedly in love with you, that's not committed to you, that's not emotionally available, that isn't there when you really, really need them, doesn't call when they say they're going to call. That's not love. You don't need to tolerate that. Number 10, in a breakup, makeup cycle, roller coaster ride. That's love addiction. That's not true love. That's not something that's healthy for you. Going up and down. That's actually a drug. That's a drug. I remember in my early 20s, I was with a tall, dark, and handsome Mexican guy from Mexico City. And I just remember being on that roller coaster ride, the intensity of, he wanted to marry me. And I thought, oh my God, I'm going to be connected to a ball and chain, right? And my kitty's calling for me. And we'd have these makeup and breakup cycles. So he would profess his love to me and want to marry me, and we'd have sex and everything would be wonderful. And then I wake up in the morning and I cannot do this. That's a long story, but if you're in a makeup or break, and let me tell you, this was in my early 20s. That was one of there's been many hard things I've had to do in my life, so have there been for you. But one of the things that I think of is that time in my life, in my early 20s, where I had gotten involved in a relationship. And I thought, oh, this is going to be easy. This is going to be fun. He's leaving. He's going back to Mexico in a couple of months. 2.5 years later, I'm still with him. The hardest thing to do was to get away from him because I knew that I wasn't going to have the future that I really wanted for myself. And we weren't ultimately a good match, but we had crazy wild sex, right? Well, that's not a good foundation for creating healthy love, for creating healthy partnership. So the hardest thing I ever had to do, at least one of the hardest things, was to get away from that relationship. He was a good man. It wasn't like, I'm not trying to belittle him, but I knew my freedom was at stake. I knew my values were at stake. I knew my health and well-being was at stake because I was on a roller coaster ride with him and I needed to get away. Maybe you've been in that situation. Number 11, you or your friends and family say this person isn't good for you. Listen to your friends, listen to your family. They ultimately do love you. People see something from outside looking in. So pay attention. You don't have to hear everything that they have to say, but just put it through your own filter. If they're saying something, pay attention. Number 12, you stay in a toxic relation out of fear of being alone. That goes along with the other thing that I was talking about of not, having a weekend to yourself and feeling freaked out about it. Learn the beautiful art of aloneness, not loneliness, aloneness. You idealize your lover. This one's a big one. You really just think that they're great and you have these fantasies of who they are. But that's not who they are. They're just another human being just like you with all their faults, good things and bad things. So see your lover for who they really are, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything, not who you want them to be. This one's really a painful one for love addiction. We're talking about love addiction. And the signs of love addiction. And you know what? I did a circle. I did my women's circle last night, and we were talking about this, and I did this list, and all the women say, yeah, I recognize a lot of those things. So if you want to be involved in our women's circle, please go to the link in this video above or below and join our Leaders of Love group. We do weekly circles, but we were talking about this last night, and the women were saying, yeah, that stuff that sounds familiar. Okay, so this one's super painful. Emotionally attached to a non-committed partner. So you have your heart involved, you have your emotions involved, you're emotionally attached, but that person isn't really committed to you. Maybe you want to get married and have kids, but you're with a non-committal partner. They're just dipping in just enough to give you a little bit to stay in the game, but you're not really getting your needs met. You're ready for commitment. But you know the interesting part about that? You may be saying you're ready for commitment, but what's showing up as non-commitment, you have to really look deep and see, where am I really not committed? And where you're really not committed is to yourself. That's another rite of passage that I had to make in relationship. I've been through all of this stuff already. And it's not that, I humbly say, oh my gosh, I humbly say I could lose my love, my honeyman, at any point in the game. But who I don't want to lose is myself. So staying connected to yourself, keeping your heart open, keeping your relationships as sacred, having healthy boundaries will keep you from the perils of love addiction. Love addiction is not love. Love addiction is love addiction. It's very, very painful. Number 16, using sex as a coping, not connecting mechanism. Now, this is very common in both sexes, but I would say, just getting laid, having sex with strangers, this is very dangerous too. But some people actually use sex as a way of just getting off to release other tensions. So they use releasing sexual attention to release other tensions. And this can be very, very dangerous. You need to learn how to feel your feelings. And the last one is poor boundaries. Not being able to set healthy boundaries. I see women with a Pisces moon. They come from a background. Moon is where you came from. They think that we're all connected, which we are all connected. But there is this ability to know the difference between what is right for you and what is wrong for you. And setting healthy boundaries in your life is really, really important. And it will keep you from the perils of love addiction. Now, if you found this video helpful and you do see that you have some of these symptoms or signs of love addiction, I want you to check out my course, How to Unlock your Divine Feminine Power with Love. Because true feminine power love is true, authentic feminine power, because feminine power is about nurturing, is about love, is about connection. And so check out that course. That's one step that you can take, because love is not outside there, the object of your lover. I love him or her so much. Love is inside here. And so unlock it, connect to it. Check out the course, Unlock Your Divine Feminine Power with Love, because your divine feminine power is in you. All you have to do is activate it. And your divine feminine power is healing. And that's what we need more of on the planet right now. So check out those links. The one to join Leaders of Love. Start leading your life with love instead of with fear. There's plenty of fear out there right now. And check out this beautiful course to help you go inward and find the true love that you've been longing for. I hope you found this helpful. Please, if you enjoyed what I'm sharing, share it on your timeline, share it out into the world, share it with a girlfriend, share it with a guy friend. And let's put a little bit more love on the planet. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.